Please remember to like, subscribe, and never forget to ring that bell.
Seconds away from showtime. I love this part.
We're back! Amazing costumes, amazing performances, amazing reveals.
Everything is bigger. The audience, the talent, the voice.
It's crazy.
What is up, everyone? I am Chris Knight, and you are watching The Real Review 3000 here with another episode of Unmasking the Masked Singer. Yes, last week was Comedy Roast Night, and boy, was it a hoot. It was fun, and seeing John Lovitz, that was kind of cool. I hadn't seen him for a while. He's a acquired taste when it comes to comedy, but hey, I liked him, and I thought his awkwardness always suited him quite well, and it worked well for his comedy tropes that he liked to use. But let's talk about Comedy Roast Night. It wasn't funny for the bride. They got voted off, and so did Avocado. We'll get to who they were, and one of those was a guess we made, and we'll talk about that right now. Did we get the Dino Bride or Bride right? Well, let's see here. It was Chris Jericho, and I believe, let me think, yes, we said Chris Jericho. So we were correct. That is our third correct guess, guys. I am elated. Not that I thought Chris should have gone home first, but I did think he should have gone home today on that episode. But I am happy that we got our third correct guess. That means going forward, after this next week, if the snowstorm gets voted off and our guess today is correct, that would be 4. I don't think she will. So I think we're going to stay with the 3 correct guesses. And then when we get to the finale, I think we will get 3 chances. So that would be a total of 6 correct guesses. I'm hoping for it. That would be a perfect season. By the way, that they formatted it this year, which again, say what you want about it. Like it, hate it, whatever. Put that all down in the comments. But it's different. And I don't dislike it, but I don't completely think it's the greatest way they're doing it. I think they should have, like I said, held back one unmasking each week so we could guess on it and speculate on it. But I digress. Let's talk about The Bride. The Bride was Chris Jericho, like we said. They sang White Wedding by Billy Idol, and they added to their clues. They said they like to showboat. They'll do anything to defend the crown. He is currently, I think, the AEW champion, world champion, I believe, or he is a champion. I know he has been a champion, but I mean, most people in wrestling will always do anything to defend their belt, their crown, whatever you want to say. So that was another wrestling clue there. The showboat. He is a showboat type of wrestler, so there you go. Another clues were act up and become a hero queen. I think those are all just references right back to his wrestling career, but we were correct. It was Chris Jericho, and that was quite fun to see him on this show. He is the right type of personality to put on a show like this, so congratulations, Chris Jericho. It was very nice to see you. Up next was the snowstorm. Now let's go over this. They sang Thank You Next by Ariana Grande. Now the clue packages said funny, you have to be cold-blooded to do what she does. She says she can be a bitch when she wants to be, but she's actually the sweetest thing. She started working when she was 18. It took 2 years for her to get on screen. She's had to plow through a male-dominated industry. She mentions not being pitch perfect. And then Bobbing Wildly has taught her to be fearless. Other clues were the roasting chestnuts, the speed dating sign, and I believe Snowstorm Magazine, and a welcome sign. Now, I believe this is Nikki Glazier. Nikki Glazier is from St. Louis. I'm from Kansas City. That's in Missouri. She's in Missouri. And she's traveled this whole state quite a bit and quite extensively. So a lot of this rang true for her. The cold-blooded thing. She does a lot of roasting, and she's a comic who likes to roast people. So that is something you have to be really just go say what you got to say, even if you don't mean it. And that's kind of cold-blooded. It's like, I'm just having fun, but it's going to sound really, really mean. And you just got to power through that. She says she's funny. She is a stand-up comic. And I want to say at some point, She never sits down. So stand up. Stand up comic. She says she can be a bitch when she wants to be, but she's actually the sweetest thing. A lot of that's just her industry standard, that she's a really nice person, but when she's on stage, she's quite brutal. So that would probably be a reference to that. Says she started working when she's 18. I don't know about that. The 2 years to get on the screen, I'm not positive about that, but I would assume it fits for her. I had to plow through a male-dominated industry. Well, comics mostly are male. It's a very male-dominated industry. Only a few female comics ever really break through that, and she has been one of those. She mentions not being pitch perfect. I know that's a reference to one of her TV shows or something of the sort. And then she says bombing wildly. I would assume that means that her jokes don't hit, and that's been tough in her past. But she's learned that you just keep going, you keep pushing, and that's why she's fearless. Now, this is where I really pull out that this is her. The roasting chestnuts. She's done comedy roast. She is known as the queen of the comedy roast. The speed dating sign. She does or has done live speed dating on Instagram. Literally puts it on their Instagram. Hey guys, come here. I'm live speed dating, and you could be a part of it, which I think is funny. But she has done that. And then I don't know about the Snowstorm magazine, but I know the welcome sign. Her show currently is called Welcome Home, Nikki Glazier. So that's the welcome sign. Like I said, I can't match every clue to her because I don't know a ton about her, but I'm pretty darn sure this is her because it sounds like her. If you noticed at one small bit, she actually speaks without the voice modulator going. So you can actually hear her voice. And that's where I was like, that is Nikki Glazier. So we're going to say it's Nikki Glazier. And then Avocado, of course, was Adam Carolla singing Hit the Road Jack by Ray Charles. He says he's funny now, but he's light years away from where he started. He played Commander Nebula in Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. He said he used to be an average Joe working construction. Well, he was a master carpenter for 13 years, so that would justify the construction comment. He says a friend helped him get his start. Now, I don't know if this is talking about Dr. Drew or Jimmy Kimmel, because Jimmy Kimmel he was on the radio, Adam was, and Jimmy Kimmel got him on a show called Love Line with Dr. Drew. And that's really where he started to blow up. Later on, of course, Jimmy Kimmel was on The Man Show with him, or should I say Adam Carolla was on The Man Show originally with Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel left. I think Adam Carolla kept it and going for a while. Anyways, and I think that was also the bald eagle crashing into the apartment window. I think the bald eagle was referenced to Dr. Drew because you remember on the season Dr. Drew was on that he was the bald eagle. So I think that's that reference to that. A microphone and tools were shown also. His podcast was the most downloaded in 2011 according to the Guinness Book of World Records. And then, of course, his podcast and then radio work would be the microphone. So that all lined up really nicely. Again, going forward now, Snowstorm continues. We believe the Lambs are Wilson Phillips, and we believe the Harp is Amber Riley. We will find out about, I think, those are your three going to the finals, but we'll see how this episode ends because, like I said, it's kind of weird how they're advertising the next episode. First off, before we get to that, let's talk about who's been voted off in our right and wrong guesses. Tonight was William Shatner, no guess, first performance. Hedgehog, Eric Idle, no guess, first performance. Hummingbird, Chris Kirkpatrick, that was a guess we gave, and that was a correct guess. Pyrat was Jeff Dunham, no guess, first performance. Panther, Montel Jordan, no guess, first performance. The Mummies, Barry Williams, Christopher Knight, and Mike Lucaland, no guess, first performance. The Fortune Teller was Damon John, no guess, first performance. Maze was Mario Cantone, no guess, first performance. Mermaid was Gloria Gaynor, no guess, first performance. Beetle was Jerry Springer, no guess, first performance. And Robo Girl was Kat Graham. That was our guess. That was a correct guess. So that's the second correct guess. Walrus was Joey Lawrence, no guess, first performance. Milkshake was Le'Veon Bell, no guess, first performance. Venus Flytrap was George Foreman, no guess, first performance. Gopher was George Clinton, no guess, first performance. Dinah was Chris Jericho. We guessed Chris Jericho. That was a correct guess. That makes our third correct guess. And then Avocado was Adam Carolla, no guess, first performance. So with all that said, up next is Fright Night. Now, I think it's being advertised as a 2-night event. So I don't know if this is just something that they're just going to do like one of their best of episodes, like on Thanksgiving or something. I'm not really sure. So I'm not sure if we're getting anything more than an actual episode and then a filler episode. That's kind of what I'm thinking they're doing, but we're going to find out, because next week's also says it's a two-part finale. So I think we're going to get that one, and then the week after that we'll get our final. So that's what I think. I'm really not sure yet, but this is Fright Night tonight. Fright Night. The Instagram clues show a film reel, roller skates, an illustrated house, meaning it looks like it's drawn. It's not a real house or a picture of a house. It is illustrated or animated, however you put it. And then we see a golden glow. Snowstorm, Scarecrow, and Sir Bugaboo are all going to be on. I still think Snowstorm's going to go forward, which means that it would be Snowstorm, the Lambs, and the Harp. Now, I know we saw this has never happened before on The Masked Singer, so I'm wondering if 2 of these people are going forward, and we get 4 people. 2 will get it voted off next week, and then the final 2 will go head-to-head and the week after. Not positive. That's a guess. If I'm right, it's kind of how they are. That's kind of how I see it. And that kind of goes back to I don't really think the voting is completely real. And you guys know how I feel about that. Put your comments down below on what you think about that. Anyways, yeah, I mean, so we'll see what happens tonight. Hopefully, in my opinion, the Snowstorm stays, and we will see those 3, the Snowstorm, the Lambs, and the Harp, all go to the finals. And I guess if you want to throw one more in there, why not? Anyways, with that said, guys, I am Chris Knight. This has been The Real Review 3000, and I am officially out of here.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and never forget to ring that bell. Follow Chris Knight and The Real Review 3000 on these platforms. For email and Patreon, see the description box below. To reach The Ego, use the Twitter handle @TheEgo5150. We would like to thank the generous members of The Real Review 3000. Those members are JJ, aka Sith Lord 3827, Anzo of Biggerford Entertainment, Yvette, Sean Stackhouse, Captain Trek, Jesse Ritchie, and Abraham Morales. Thank you for your support and donations that help us at The Real Review 3000 bring you, the viewer, better content. For information on how to become a member, click the join button below.